If they don't make it, then get back to Zaya.
That's it.
Well done, sir. Well done.
That's it. And, you know, His Excellency Al-Tayyar and I were talking this morning about what do we do with the young people with design thinking, and how do we give them the tools and the empowerment and small teams that are highly empowered to work on projects and execute the projects. Well, we've learned the hard way. When you have too big a project, too big a team, too big a budget, and not enough accountability and entrepreneurial spirit, they fail. So we've learned that smaller projects with teams of 10 and highly empowered situations actually succeed almost all the time. And I agree with you totally. This next generation not only is the future, but I think they're leading us through this digital revolution right now.
Right, so Mark, you have your chance now to, as you formulate those skills, keep in mind what Bill just said in terms of also, I think the challenge is we need to change by giving that responsibility early to the young gen and so forth. You know, so what kind of skills maybe project management can help with managing that kind of change in the philosophy of running programs and projects as well? Yeah, it's up to you.
Well, I don't want to be the one that doesn't agree with I also have 4 children, and the oldest is 31, the youngest is 17, and the difference between 31 and 17 is the 31-year-old acts like the father, and the 17-year-old acts like his generation. So it's even a difference in just 14 short years. So from what I've heard, you know, both in my role with PMI, but even here today on the panel, is what we're really doing when we talk about future cities and these complex projects is we're trying to find a way to put the consumer in the middle, the customer in the middle, the citizen in the middle, whoever that is. And I think the skills and competencies and behaviors necessary to be successful, among others, will have to be the ability to understand the voice of the customer. We don't know what the future looks like. How will we ever know? But our ability to gain insight as early as possible and adjust to the voice of the customer is essential, and not a traditional project management or program management skill. So if I think about the PMI talent triangle, the technical skills still absolutely necessary, much more on the leadership side, the side that is able to sense the needs of whoever that stakeholder group is. And really it shifts to leadership position, because I talked a little bit about that yesterday, but these large complex strategies and programs that implement, whether they're construction, EPC, whether they're large software, they're so complex that the leaders of those are essentially running their own business unit. So the role of project and program manager and the competency, skills, and behaviors necessary to be successful is very much like an executive in an organization. It's really positioning that person to be successful. And yes, absolutely, because the consumer of the future is much different than us, we really need to have a way to sense that. They are truly born digital. My 17-year-old doesn't know how to do anything that my 31-year-old knows how to do.
I think we're going to go at the final round here shortly after asking His Excellency the Taiwan question. I'm going to ask for a combined wisdom at the end of the day, how we're going to shape the views of the PMs and the ones interested in PM in the future, but really looking at the future generations as well. Your Excellency, Tara, just before we go there, any final thoughts on mobility of future cities? You know, is there something there that you believe will also have a contribution to happiness? We talk a lot in the UE about the happiness index and improving lives and so forth.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I think the future, I share the same views, but I think the future will be focused on 2 major points. The big data, because if you have the informations, and I think you can make major decisions where in terms of land use, in terms of even strategy for transportations. The big data is very important, that's one issue. And the second issue is the use of technology for the autonomous car, electrical car, and whatever. Those 2 areas are very important. In RTA, I think what we are doing, actually, our strategy focused on 3 main objectives. Objective 1 is how do we make people happy? People happy, you have to make everything, or most of the mode of transport is accessible, integrated. You have to make it also affordable, safe, secured. Especially, we have hard weather here. Our weather sometimes in summer is very aggressive. We have to have this business of door-to-door service. Because the health style also is very important. Ensure also the physical integration. What I mean by physical integrations is most of the mode of transport, the marine, land transport, the different mode of transport, the metro, the buses, the taxi. We have to have this integration business available for people. Providing also the real-time information. It's important. It's important that we want people when they wake up, they open their iPad, and they should have the alternatives of the choices. What is the shortest route? How much it will cost? How safe it is? How fast it is? All those decisions can be just by pushing one button. This service is very important. Finally, there are new technology now available, smart technology, and we are trying to work on them. And as a matter of fact, we already started signing some company specialized in last mile businesses. When people arrive to the metro station, where do they go? We have this smart rental cars, and it will be working in Dubai very soon, the hourly rental car, and we already signed with 2 companies, and we'll sign with more. We have this service available now. We have also the smart yard testing. This is new for virtual reality training, for the training. We'll be having a smart system for training. Rather than going in the car, you will be driving in the driving schools, and you will be actually having this exercise before going to the street. We have the smart bus shelters also available, and we will do some samples soon, and I hope this will be succeeded so we can make most of our bus shelters smart. Finally is the smart mall, and we started this, and I think if succeed, I know it succeeded in other countries, but if succeed, we are going to put it in most of the shopping centers.
The sky's the limit in terms of the innovations, technology, and we're not here to just talk about SAP's business. There's a lot of potential for data, obviously. So for the sake of time, I just want very quick. Yesterday we heard from Kerzner, his views of reinventing PM and 4.0 and all of that. He talked about the balance between culture and political and even religion. He was bringing that, the sensitivity around that to the mix. So we have time just for one final comment from each of the panelists. Just what is the one thing that you would pick would be so important for youth or folks in the profession of project management to really keep an eye on in terms of unique skill or a unique differentiator? One comment each. So you want to start?
I'd be happy to. You know what to do. You are professionals, and tactically you know exactly what you're doing, but you also need to know why you're doing it. And that higher purpose as to why you're doing something can make all the difference in the world. In technical terms, if you think about how things are running, you would almost envision a project or a business or a government entity like a digital boardroom. You know everything that's going on, and you know why ultimately you're doing what you're doing. And that is the most important thing, to actually act with purpose. Because when you act with purpose, you have the intellectual curiosity, the agility, and you understand the correlation between the work you're doing and the impact it's having on making the world a better place. And that's the key.
Thank you very much. Mark?
Certainly. So the world's rapidly moving, technology is going to be changing forever. We're getting hit with more and more information and data. So I think one of the key characteristics for success in the future is the ability to navigate change and complexity with a view towards simplicity. I believe that those that will be successful as companies and individuals will find a way to get to the most simple application of whatever it is we're trying to do towards the ultimate why. But if you can get it to the most simple application, you'll be more successful.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
If you allow me just 3 words.
3 words.
Three statements.
Yes, please.
Quickly. I would say the agile project management, 1. Number 2 is the BMI, and when you say the BMI, the triangular, which Mr. Lagri talked about yesterday, regarding the leadership, the business skills, and the technical project management. And finally also, it was said in the, I think the second lecture, about the project management, which was the business benefits of the project, which is very important. So in summary, there are 3: the agile, the BMI triangular, and the business benefits.
Yeah,
if you have the 3,
perfect. The third one also ties
you will
with-
have the best. Yeah, the 3 is very important. You cannot isolate one another from.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
Well, you know, I'm driven by quarterly results. So my business is how can I really make money faster and faster. And for that, I need simplicity. I need easy process. I need affordability. Affordability in my business is a big challenge, and I'm fighting that all the time. So speed is something that I love. That's why I'm doing a joint venture with this crazy Chinese guy that can pull your building up 30 story in 30 days. I don't think the American can compete with him. No way. No, you'll be shocked to go see this guy. Yeah? You'll be shocked. These are people who think out there. You know, but anyway, you know why? I have to tell you the story. You know why you'll be shocked? I toured his factory, huge. And then on the side, there is a military team under training. I said, what is this? What are these military people training in your yard? He said, no, these are my new staff. He said, 1 week, I have, I don't know how many sergeants from the army to train them 1 week. This is really kind of men and women. And someday I'll send you the video. So I say, I want to see if they're fit, can handle it or not. I said, you know what? You and I, we should do a lot of business together. So I'm saying that I think, so process, affordability, speed, absolutely speed. That's why the Concorde, I go back to the Concorde. Why these people were able to think like this? Why are we all still old-fashioned? You know why? So we have to change the process. We have to move faster, and everything we should do must be relevant. Technology, whatever it is, you eat outside. So in my business, you will see all of our kitchens are coming smaller and smaller. All of our units are coming smaller and smaller. So I think you have to be relevant in what you do. And how you be relevant? You've seen these driverless cars, they've got this big radar on top that spins. Your brain have to be that quality. That's the only way to survive and hire a lot of young people below 25.
Great point to end on. Well, final words.
One statement, strange statement, you know, how to manage big projects. Sometimes, I'm saying, you have to do strange things. You know, one of the things I admire Mr. Abbar when he takes some decisions, and myself, I sometimes I do something, somebody will say it's stupid or crazy. I do those crazy ideas sometimes. I tell people I'll come to you at 12 o'clock at night, and then I come 3 in the morning. So they don't know, you have to do something strange and something, not everything by the book. You should not go by the book. Like last week, I called the CEO of Rail Agency. She's a woman, by the way. I told her to be 3:30 in the morning on site. You know, you call a lady and tell her 3:50 at night. For us, from the culture point of view, this is also not accepted. When you talk about cultures, you know, it is straight. But because she is the CEO of roads, she has to do some more work than expected from her as a CEO. So she was there till 3:30 in the morning. Next morning at 8 o'clock she is in her office. So not she and her directors. So this is for us from the culture point of view. It's very strange to call a lady and tell her 3:30 on site.
Matar, you're
And
the
then
only
I
one who
said-
can do these
I
things, you
told
know?
Listen, you know, when you talk about culture, it's really, sometimes you should not follow culture or ethics or something. Even ethics sometimes I don't follow. If I want to deliver the project on time for the people and for the government, I have to do whatever it takes, even if I upset the whole department, I don't care, but I have to serve the public and deliver the project on time. Thank you very much.
Done.